What would you say would be the one lesson after all these years in politics that you would share? I know that your students are lucky enough to hear some of this live, but for everybody else who doesn't have the good fortune to take your classes, what would be the one lesson that you think is really important to remember in effective decision making?
Well, a lot of young people are coming to me now, thank God, at various universities and back home in Wisconsin saying, oh, I'd like to run for office. I'm mad about the way things are going. And I guess what I would urge everyone to do, I want them to do it, is to say to yourself first, what are some things that I will not do or will not compromise to the point of giving up that career? You know, for me, it was always the death penalty. Like, I couldn't support the death penalty in any context, and I never did, because it just was so fundamental to me. But it may be other things where you don't want to have too many of them or you're not going to be able to proceed, whether it's being pro-choice or whatever it is.
So establish your boundaries.
Establish some boundaries so that you realize, as wonderful as a political career can be, it's not worth saying, well, you know, I've got to give on this one if it's fundamental to you. So have a sense of what you really care about before you plunge into this. And over time, you'll develop other things you care about. For me, I knew essentially nothing about Africa, I'm embarrassed to say, by the time I was 39 years old. But it happened through a series of things that I became the most involved in Africa of any member of the Senate. And so in this part of my life, I've become absolutely passionate about Africa and what's happening in some of the, particularly the Great Lakes region of Africa. So that's the other thing I'd say to people. Just because you think you're interested in certain things when you're 18 or 25 or 30, I guarantee you a big part of your life is going to be being fascinated and caring about things that you have no concern about right now. And that's a life lesson, especially now that we tend to live a little longer. There are different chapters to your life and your interests and what you do in your career, and I think people should be open to that as well.